Jefferson County Court Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in cause number M333858. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Justin Ray Savoy. Mr. Savoy, is that your full name?
Yes.
Mr. Savoy, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Savoy, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Savoy, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Savoy? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Savoy, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge.
Mr. Reynolds, do you waive a record in Mr. Savoy's case?
So wait.
And again, the state is represented in this case by Attorney Erica Porter. Ms. Porter, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Your Honor. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Let's see. His first name is Justin. Okay. Justin, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Justin Ray Savoy, on or about November 16th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of criminal trespassing. Justin, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, no contest? Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant is issued. And I have another document here. This document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendants? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did you read the documents? Did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1 in evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection, State's 1.
No objection, State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. You advised in counsel, Mr. Savoy, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None to my knowledge, Judge.
Your attorney has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do.
And what is the agreement in this case?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty, the state is offered 6 months deferred, no fine, 60 hours community service, and court costs.
Okay. Now, Mr. Savoy, the state, let's see. This is Justice Savoy. I need to know what the court cost is in this case.
Yes, sir. He's on the announcement downstairs.
Yes,
It's 337.
6 months. 60, 90. Are you appointed in this case?
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Savoy, the state is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 6-month probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. The state is waiving the fine. In this case, you will be required to pay court costs. $337, you'll be required to be in person. Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $250. You'll be required to pay probation fee of $60 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15 a month. And no, a reimbursement fee of $15 and a urinalysis fee of $15 a month. Your total monthly installments, that is a total amount that you will be required to pay each month. For this case, is $210 a month. Will you be able to pay the $210 each month? You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. And you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Savoy, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? Do you accept the state's offer? Savoy, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Justin, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. This will conclude your case. You're gonna stand. Are y'all ready for him?
No, sir.
Just have a seat, and when the court coordinator is ready for you, they're gonna ask you to come up before when they're gonna sign the paperwork. Once you finish the paperwork, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Reynolds, I think this is your last case.
It is good.
You're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Okay. Next case is cause number M320816. Case is the state of Texas versus Shamika Shanette Parker. Ms. Parker is appearing via Zoom. Attorney, Mr. Thomas Burbank, is also appearing via Zoom. Uh-oh, she just, yes, okay. Well, we can call Mr. Burbank's next case. Yeah, she must have accidentally logged out. Next case is cause number 23CCCR 0682, case is styled the state of Texas versus Chelsea Raquel Bronton. Your last name is Bronton? How's it, I'm pronouncing it right? Okay. How are you doing, Ms. Bronton? That's good. Ms. Bronton, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Thomas Burbank, who is appearing via Zoom. Attorney Burbank, how are you doing?
It's Monday, Judge. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And Mr. Burbank, what is your announcement in Ms. Bronton's case?
She has been accepted pretrial diversion. The sign up is not until April 4th at 10 o'clock. I would ask that this case be reset till the week after that date. If it's the 4th, the 11th, or the whatever, anytime after the 11th, should be signed up.
Okay, this case will be reset to April 15th, 2024. Ms. Bronson, your attorney, we get a copy, reset your attorney, your bondsman. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You will get a copy of this reset here in court. Now, basically what your attorney has just informed the court is that you're gonna sign up for the pretrial diversion program. And once you sign up for that program, this case is probably gonna be dismissed. But if you don't sign up for that program, of course, you need to be back here in court on the April 15th, but stay in contact with your attorney. He can fill you in on everything that's going to happen. So you're gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. Thanks for being patient with us.
Right. And Ms. Broughton needs to call to make an appointment. I do have paperwork for her, so that I could tell her exactly what's going on, Judge.
Okay, I think she was listening. Okay. Next case is cause number M320816, case of style of state of Texas versus Shamika Shanette Parker. Ms. Parker is appearing via Zoom. Ms. Parker, you can take your mic off of mute. Ms. Parker, you can take your mic off of mute. And she's been on Zoom for a while. Ms. Parker, you can take your mic off of mute. She has it on mute. I can't unmute it from here. Let me take a look. Yeah, she has it on. She has it on mute. Mr. Burbank, is there any way you can call her, let her know she needs to take her mic off of mute? I don't have.
We tried, Judge.
Oh, she just logged out now.
Well, I guess she told you what she thought.
Well, okay, well, she must be having some, here she go again. She's logged in, she's connecting to audio. Ms. Parker, you can take your mic off of mute. Okay, in the meantime, while she's doing that, okay. Now, Mr. Burbank, what's your announcement in Ms. Ms. Parker's case?
Last time we were here, Judge, there was a question to the state had to find out. One was the complaining witness, and number two, in reference to the actual amount of restitution that possibly was owed in this case. At one time, it was like $400 and something, and then it raised to like $900 and something. And they were supposed to find out if there was a complaining witness, and number two, the actual cost minus insurance and stuff like that.
Okay, state,
We already have an offer. I don't believe he's emailed a request, but I could send him the offer. I could send Burbank the offer.
oh, I mean, does that offer? I mean,
We had the offer. The question was whether or not they actually had a complaining witness. Because we're getting two different signals from the complaining witness or the person that was talking to the complaining witness.
okay, hold on a minute.
We, I,
Okay, I mean, I got it.
Okay, just hold on. Your attorney is talking. The state is looking something up. If I'm not mistaken,
I have the amount and the complaining witness. We do have both.
Okay.
And the offer was dismissal with restitution.
okay,
And what
Um,
was the restitution verified?
Well, yeah, it was verified. It was for Gregory Jones, and the amount is $815.62.
Okay.
okay. So what are y'all gonna do in that case, Mr. Burbank?
Ms. Parker, did you hear what the restitution was? I know you had questions on it, and you've questioned me. Do you agree with that or don't agree with that?
Why was it $400 and something in the beginning?
So that's the restitution that he claims the damage to the vehicle or the property was.
What I keep trying to the court now, since I'm in court, my thinking is he wants restitution on a vehicle, but he actually paid for two vehicles. So I'm wondering, since it jumped from $400 to $800, is the court, or is he somehow, or has the court become confused because the receipt may say $800 and something? He only owns one property and he can't sue for someone else.
I didn't understand it, but I don't see where it jumped at all. Nothing jumping on my paper. It was.
My lawyer just said that it was $400 and something in the beginning, and it was.
I don't see it being 400 ever, but maybe y'all were looking at something that I'm not looking at, but I verified it and it is $815.62.
Mr. Burbank, did you get something in writing said that was 400? From the DA's office?
Yeah, a long time ago, Judge, I did, and I gave it to the district attorney. And of course, district attorneys have changed.
Right.
And
I remember at one time Lamar was on this case at one time.
he was. I think that's the gentleman that I gave that information to. I don't want to put him on the spot, but
And that might have,
that's where we're at, Judge.
but if it wasn't thoroughly looked into, it probably, a number might have came out. Maybe he wasn't looking at everything, but I had verified that amount. That's the amount that we're requesting.
Okay,
So I guess, Judge, I'm going to need to talk to Ms. Parker in reference to if she can come up with the 800. There have been changes since we all started this. And I know that she's had some issues that have probably have affected her financial ability. And so if you could just give me a couple of weeks, Judge, so that we can try to get this settled.
And Ms. Burbank, you can always call me in the office and we can see what we can do if that doesn't work, okay?
I appreciate that.
Okay, give us a reset, a 30-day reset.
Yes, they're gonna be on the transaction.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it on here.
It'll be April 15th.
Okay, the case is gonna be reset to April 15th, 2020. Yes, Mr. Burbank,
Yes, Your Honor.
you was getting ready to say something?
No, Your Honor. It's just that I will be talking to Ms. Parker within the next couple of days.
Okay, now, I see Ms. Parker's hand is up, but I think the prosecutor
I know we're.
has
looking up.
something else to say.
Okay, so he probably gave you that quote because that was based on, there were two windshields. And one was for 42 and one was for 332, so he gave you a quote based on one. But the total damages is for 8 something, so I gave you a quote based on both. That's probably where the differences came from Lamar, whoever gave you the plea offer and my offer. But we can talk more about it if you want to later in my office.
Now, Mr. Burbank, I think your client might, I guess she's raising her hand to say something. Yeah,
She
you
could
might-
say something. Yeah, no, she could say something.
Even if I'm wrong, I'll accept it. What I keep trying to say, when Mr. Jones pressed charges and gave the receipt or the 2 receipts that the lady just quoted for his vehicle, I'm thinking $400 and something when a different DA gets on the thing and he asks him how much was his damages, $800 and something. What I'm trying to get the court to understand, there's 2 vehicles involved. Mr. Jones only owns one of them, although he paid to have both of them fixed. Mr. Jones cannot sue me for restitution for 2 vehicles when he only owns one. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why I keep asking, how did it jump?
He said he owns both, so I can verify he's the owner of both. I'll verify that.
the DA said she's gonna verify it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, okay, so the case is being reset until April 15th, 2024. Ms. Parker, stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman, they'll give you notice of your reset. Mr. Burbank, your reset will be sent to you. This will conclude this case. Ms. Parker, you have a blessed day. Mr. Burbank, you have a blessed day as well. You excused.
You too, Judge. Thank you very much.
And Ms. Parker, thanks for being patient with us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Jacoby and Eugene Morris. This is cause number 23CCCR 0364, case of Style of State of Texas versus Jacoby and Eugene Morris. Mr. Morris, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Morris, how are you doing?
You will find.
That's good. Mr. Morris, you're represented in your case by your attorney Laura Perazzo. Attorney Perazzo, how are you doing? Ms. Perazzo, what is your announcement in Jacobian's case?
Mr. Morris, his case, I believe he has a pending felony that was reset.
Do we have a reset date on that?
I think they said 3 weeks.
You did?
Reset it when they put it in there. They haven't put it in.
Okay, so they haven't put your court date in the computer. The court coordinator is going to continue to check the computer once you find that court date out. This case is going to be reset on the same date as your felony. And so you're going to need to do the same thing on that day that you did today, and that is come here first and check in, then go to felony court. When you finish your felony court, come back to this court.
Let's go.
All right? And Ms. Morris, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. And Ms. Perazzo, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, I was next door doing sentencing.
Okay.
earlier.
Yeah. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in 2 cases, cause number M331490 and cause number M331686. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Andrew Stevens Ritchie. Andrew Ritchie was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Andrew Ritchie at the courthouse door. Andrew Ritchie did not answer. Andrew Ritchie has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 12:02 p.m. on today's date of March 4th, 2024. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Andrew Ritchie at the courthouse door? Ritchie. She said Ritchie. Andrew Ritchie's name was just called again at the courthouse door. Andrew Ritchie did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Ritchie an opportunity to appear in court. State, do you have a motion? Andrew Ritchie bonds will be forfeited and warrant should be reversed rest in both cases. Cause number M331490, cause number M331686. And my understanding that Mr. Ritchie may have a medical excuse. If he does, then we'll present that to the DA's office when we get it. This will conclude the calling of the court's announcement docket, the court's pre-trial conference docket, and the trial docket. All 3 dockets are scheduled on today's date of March 4th, 2024, in County Court at Law number 2, Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence Holmes presiding.